Hi.
Hi, John.
Hi. I don't remember your name.
Jalaluddin.
Jalaluddin, of course it is.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while. It's good to see you.
Thank you. You know, whenever I've read your book probably 5 to 6 times, and every time I pick it up and read it, I seem to get on this intensive looking at myself. And it goes on reading the book, and probably for a couple months afterwards, it's like it just fills me up. I just can't leave it alone. And then it starts dying away. And then, seems like after that, this has happened quite a few times, after that I don't notice looking at myself for quite a while, and then maybe I will be doing it. And then it's one of the reasons why I'm here. Also feels like to recharge, or, you know, and
Okay, go on.
so I'm just, I'd like to continue it, you know, all the time, even when I'm not reading your material or...
Well, then, if that's the case, then you're missing the point. And actually, you're missing the point if that's the case. You're wanting to continue it all the time?
Well...
But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I understand it.
I think so.
I understand it. But the looking is not to be fetishized. It's a means to an end. There's nothing about the looking that gives you anything. Nothing. It doesn't change you one iota. It gives you nothing. It takes nothing away from you. The only thing it does is eliminate the fear of life.
Mm-hmm.
So, it happens to be kind of can be a pleasurable thing to engage in the looking and so forth. But I suggest that you don't worry about that. The looking, the act of looking, the actual action of it that is done by you will stop. There's no point to it. When the fear is gone, there's no point to it anymore. You're here, you know you're here. You don't need to remind yourself of that. You're here. You're actually completely aware of your presence here. The looking can be, you know, like the kind of habitual wanting to look can actually be because it feels kind of good to get a feel for you. But it's absolutely unnecessary. When it goes, it goes. And if you read my book and it pumps you up to do it again, then stop reading my book. Really. I'll tell you something about that book. I guess I shouldn't tell you since, you know, it's for sale and all. That book, what was the retreat? What year was that retreat? 2007? That book is the transcripts of the 2007 retreat. Now the 2007 retreat is dear to my heart, okay? The 2007 retreat was when, for the year 2007, and the retreat was the culmination of it, was the year when I first began to feel that I had a sense of what needed to happen. Well, I had a sense of what needed to be said. I had a sense of how that I would be able to find a way to speak what I wanted to speak, which up until then, I actually thought was pretty hopeless. You know, I was trying and I was talking to people all the time, but I really couldn't see I was making any progress in ridding myself of the understandings and the vernacular and the vocabulary and so forth that I had been so indoctrinated into, the spiritual understandings. In 2007 and 2006, we went to Chicago. We came back through Boulder. In Boulder, I had a satsang which was attended by quite a large group of people, which later we entitled Escape from the Spiritual Ghetto. And it was at that time that I began to see the way forward. Not clearly, but, kind of through a fog, I began to see the way forward. And I began to see that it was actually possible that we might, at some point, come to the point where we're able to be of help to people. So, in 2007, we stopped charging for any events. And the reason for that was because I thought that if this is so, then I don't want the willingness or inability to pay, to stand in the way of anybody's opportunity to get what it is that I'm trying to give them. The 2007 retreat was every year. It's like I guess it's just the nature of human rhythms, right? That there's a point in the year when things are seen to be the culmination and the finishing up of that period of time, and that's what these retreats have been for us all along. And at the 2007 retreat, I felt that we really had made a breakthrough. It wasn't complete, but we had made a breakthrough. And I think it's when I first started talking in terms of looking at yourself. But I was still not free of the baggage, the weight of my spiritual understanding. There's a lot of stuff that I did in this 2007 retreat that was conditioned by spiritual understanding. Not so anymore so much. So the book, Look at Yourself, which is the 2007 retreat, although to my great surprise, it has been received by a lot of people, and a lot of people have found a lot of help to it. It still represents a really early stage of the final development of what it is that I'm actually trying to do here. So beware of that book. It's it's a forked tongue,
Yes.
So be aware of that, and so that I imagine, I haven't read it, but I imagine that reading it can kind of inflame the fires of spiritual juiciness and so forth. And if it does, and if anybody's listening to this, immediately put that book down. Put it down.
It's down.
Look at you.
And you just said something that I realized that I really have put down my spiritual baggage big time.
Yeah.
I hadn't even realized that before. And I just want to make a little report here that certainly my life shows up as being a lot different, and it's richer, and things come and go, but the good and the bad, and it's just all rich.
Yes, all life.
And I'm really thankful. And I get a lot of chuckles when I'm doing something stupid, like traveling and going in the wrong direction, trying to find the right gate, and whatever.
Me too. I have a lot of fun laughing at my stupidity, don't I? Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And don't worry about continuing the looking. When the looking does its job, it just goes away. It's of no use to you other than to free you of the disease. It's just like antibiotics. You don't continue taking antibiotics when the infection is gone. It's the same with the looking. The effort to try to continue the looking when the disease has departed is just another hangover from the ways in which we used to live our lives, with constantly needing to be reminded of things, and I can't forget that I'm this and not that, and all of that. So I would advise that I would advise that everybody who is new to this try with all their hearts every moment that they get the chance to look at themselves, to turn their attention inward and try to get a taste of themselves, because that's the medicine. When the disease passes, stop taking the medicine. Enjoy life. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John.